I remember in November of 1954, I was 13 years old, and I saw advertised in the newspaper that Elvis was going to be the opening act for Carl Smith, who was a country music star at that time, and I was a fan of his as well. So I wanted to come. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and my father brought me to the concert. He didn't go. I went in by myself and sat down, in the auditorium. It was in the North Hall of Ellis Auditorium, and which is the small hall in Ellis Auditorium. Elvis was the opening act, and when he came on stage, all of the people around me started squealing and screaming, and I had never seen him before, so I didn't know what was going on. But when he started to sing and he started to move, they would just go wild again. He looked to me, he was not dressed like the other country singers. He had on a plaid sport coat and dark pants, open collared shirt. And he actually, as he walked on stage and with the few things he said, he appeared to be a little bit awkward or ill at ease. But when he started to sing, all that just disappeared. And it was hypnotizing to watch him at that time. As I said, he was the opening act, so he performed for a little while, and then he left the stage and the rest of the show continued. And people still were sitting enjoying the show. These were country music superstars, but it was just kind of a letdown after Elvis was on. And I decided I was going to go out to the concession stand and get a Coke. So I left the auditorium and went out. In the old Ellis Auditorium, the concession stands were built into the wall, kind of behind the stairwells. And I went around a corner to go to the concession stand, and there was Elvis and two friends of his standing right there in front of the concession stand drinking. Elvis was drinking a Coke, as I remember. So, there was nobody else around because the show was going on inside, and so I stood there for a moment wondering what to do. And finally, I walked up to him, and I introduced myself and said, "I really enjoyed your performance, and I'd like to have your autograph." Well, Elvis was, at that time, brand new, 4 months into recording. And this was all still fun and games for him. I could tell. He kind of looked at the other people and said, she wants my autograph, very pleased with the attention that he was getting. So, he smiled at me and he said, "Yeah, well, you want me to autograph?" And I didn't have a thing. So he reached over and he picked up my hand and he took a pen out of his pocket and wrote his name on the back of my hand. So the next day when I went to school, everybody knew Elvis, and I was a big star for a while. And still, when I go back to my hometown, people remind me of that time that I had Elvis's autograph on my hand.